So today we're going to talk a bit about how people are motivated to be part of change, to be part of something bigger than themselves, and how you can channel this into an organization that harnesses this great power of wanting to make the world a better place. In 2006, I founded a new political party. I led it for its first 5 years. It became the largest party in the most coveted youth demographic. We had a campaign budget total of 50,000 euros. They had 6 million between them. And we beat them. And I'm going to share the secret recipe of how we did that. We developed swarm methodologies. And they can be applied to any business or social cause. Your most valuable asset is the thousands of people who want to work for you for free. And you don't let them. They get very upset about that. A swarm is a congregation of tens of thousands of volunteers that have chosen, of their own will, to converge on a common goal. When push comes to shove, you gotta do what you love, even if it's not a good idea. What kind of idiot thinks they can change the world by starting a political party? This kind of idiot, apparently. But it works. What you need to do is to put a stake in the ground. You need to announce your goal. Just say, I want to accomplish this. I'm going to do this. When you provide such a focus point, a swarm intelligence emerges when people can rally to a flag. And that's what gives you this 2 orders of magnitude of cost efficiency. And there are 4 goals that need to be fulfilled in your goal in order for this to work. These 4 criteria are that your goal must be tangible, credible, inclusive, and epic. It needs to be tangible. You need a binary. Are we there yet, or are we not there yet? It needs to be credible. Somebody seeing the project plan that you're posting needs to see that, yes, this project plan will take us from where we are to where we want to be. You need to break it down into sub-goals that each by themselves are seen as doable, and when you add the sub-goals together, we've gone to where we want. It needs to be inclusive. Anybody who sees this project plan needs to immediately see, I want to do this, and there's my spot. And they will be able to jump right into the project and start working on it without asking anybody's permission. And last but not least, it needs to be epic. It needs to energize people. It needs to electrify people. Don't shoot for the moon. We've already been there. Shoot for Mars. So how do you motivate people to do that? Well, it turns out that obstacles are not the problem. Not knowing the obstacles are the problem. If you can plan it like a project, you can plan what resources you need, and you can execute it exactly like a project. When you can list the resources, you know what you need to get there. When you know what you need to get there, you can go there. The next thing is to encourage this development of a swarm intelligence. We're really motivated by 3 things in terms of larger creative tasks when we work for something bigger than ourselves. We work for autonomy, mastery, and purpose. How do you build an organization that harnesses this motivational power? There are 3 factors that you optimize for: speed, trust, and scalability. We optimize for speed by cutting bottlenecks out of the loop, cutting them out of the decision loop. That means cutting yourself out of the decision loop, which can be hard. But you got to communicate your vision so passionately, so strongly, that everybody knows what the goal is and can find something, some step that takes the movement just a little closer to that goal. And when tens of thousands of people do that on a weekly basis, you become an unstoppable force. If 3 self-identified volunteers in the movement were in agreement that something was good for the movement, that they had the green light from the highest office to go ahead and act in the name of the organization, including spending resources. Turns out, when you give people the keys to the castle, say, I trust you, they step up to the plate. And that's a beautiful thing to see happen. To find the great, you must allow mistakes to happen. So you must communicate that we expect some things to go wrong, to create a risk-positive environment. Therefore, we optimize for iteration speed, meaning that we try, we fail. Maybe after we've tried 15 times, we've mastered some specific subject. So you want to minimize the time it takes to try those 15 times. You optimize for trust. You encourage diversity. You need to communicate your vision so strongly so that everybody can translate it into their own context. This one brand fits all message, forget it. It doesn't give you the cost efficiency advantage of working Swarmwise. This leads to a lot of different approaches tried in parallel in different social groups who try out different methods of working toward the goal. Some of them will work, but in order to find the great ones, you need this diversity. And you need to communicate that we need the diversity. If somebody on this side does not understand what those guys are doing, that's okay, because we all trust each other to work for the better of the movement. And it's okay that I don't understand their social context. I'm not expected to. I understand my social context. I contribute with something I know. So make people aware of this diversity. Finally, scalability. In business school, they teach you to use a lean organization. Forget that. Just scale up the organization from the get-go. This swarm keeps growing to tens of thousands of people, each taking on something small with very, very decentralized mandate to act on the organization. And this is when a swarm intelligence emerges. This is when you have this beehive logic, where everybody knows what's to be done. Everybody is taking their own small steps towards it. So the swarm starts to act as a coherent organism. And it's amazing to watch. This is when you're rewarded by the cost efficiency advantage over your competitors by 2 orders of magnitude. Do you want to change the world? Do you want to bring clean water to 1 billion people? Teach 3 billion people to read? Maybe you're into social change. You want to introduce an unconditional basic income. Or maybe you want to take humanity to Mars. You can do this using these methods. It's about leadership. It's about deciding what you want to do and telling it to the world. No matter whether you think you can or cannot change the world, you are probably right. Change doesn't just happen. Somebody makes it happen. Do you want to be that person? There's one component more that's required to work Swarmwise: fun. This is actually required to succeed. People will go to other people who are having fun. In contrast, they will walk an extra mile to avoid people who are not having fun. So, having fun is more than just having a pinball machine in the office. It's an absolute and unavoidable requirement for organizational and operational success. In summary, a recipe for a swarm organization using these motivational methods to a huge competitive advantage. Your goal, it needs to be tangible, credible, inclusive, and epic. Your organization needs to be optimized for speed, trust, and scalability. You need to enjoy yourselves. And that will reward you with 2 orders of magnitude of cost efficiency advantage.